Alright. So keep in mind, I made this deck because I got beat by it so bad that it made me want to try it out. And yeah. Oh, hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today, Bancroft, will be going over a new deck profile, obviously, because you've seen the thumbnails and whatnot, you know what it is, so let's just get out of the way. It is definitely Set 1 Broly. Real quick, shout out to Scrub Games. I played them during the first round of the RPO tournament, and I played Prison. It's one of my favorite decks ever. I was hoping to win first round, and then I completely lost to Set 1 Broly, and I was like, that deck was really fun to watch go off. So I wanted to give it a shot myself, and so I gave it my take, and this is going to be it as well. So shout out to Scrub Games for the inspiration for it. Let's put it that way. And let's get into this profile. So I can click those likes and buttons and stuff. Set 1 Broly. This card cannot attack battle cards, which is okay. I mean, most likely their battle cards will be taken away once you awaken anyways. Then, when this card attacks, both players choose one card from their hand, placed in the drop area. So, it's some early hand control with it also hurting yourself. That's pretty nice. When your life is 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and flip over, which means I can awaken during my opponent's turn and be perfectly fine. Alright. The kicker. Once awakened, you still can't attack battle cards. But that doesn't matter because when this card attacks, you draw 1 card, then both players choose 1 card from their hand and 1 card from their from the battle area and place those cards in the drop area. So let's get this started off. There are a few cards I would like to drop. First things first, let's move the leader out of the way. The IRS from set 7? Yes. The ISR, not IRS. But the ISR Super Saiyan 3 Broly. Truth be told, I'm never going to play this card because it's a hand control deck, so you guys know I play that the Black Goku card. But the auto is really nice for this card. When this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by a skill, and your leader card is a Broly card, choose up to 1 Broly's ring from your deck, activate it, and then shuffle your deck. If you do, choose 1 or 2 cards from your life, and then add them to your hand. So this is an ideal turn 1 to discard from your hand, because not only does it get the Broly's ring for you, or in this case, demonic resistance, or restraints, I can't read, but it also gets the, it hits your life early on, so you go ahead and it's really good for self-awakening. That's the word I'm thinking of. Gosh, cannot think of it for the life of me. So let's get out of the way. Practically Broly's Ring. It's a field card. This card is also treated as Broly's Ring in all areas, and cards in your hand can't be discarded by your green Broly leader card skill. So from that point on, you no longer have to worry about discarding cards. Alright. Auto. If your leader card is a mono green Broly card, when this card is discarded or placed in the drop area from your battle area by one of your leader card or battle card skills, activate this card from the drop area and add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So, if for some reason this card's on the field and you're not awakened yet, find other ways of getting rid of this card from your field, which is possible with this deck. If you are awakened and you want to go down to maybe 3 life because you're feeling a little spicy, go ahead and take a life. Why not? But this is the card you will be discarding with your leader's effect. Because this card prevents you from having to discard cards from your hand, and you go, okay, cool, pitch it, and it comes right back. You can activate main for 3 green energy, which is once per turn, which allows you to play a 6-drop Broly. Has to be mono green, though. I already said 6-drop Broly. It could be less if you wanted to. But practically play a 6 energy cost card for 3 energies. Never a bad thing. So, let's put these aside. Next couple cards. Zarbon, always a good target to pitch because for 1 green energy, you could choose 1 card from your hand, discard, and play this card from your drop area, so it just cycles itself back to the field. This card is very key against the mirror match because the field card only stops from your leader. So if you only have this card in your battle area and your opponent's green Broly swings at you and it's awakened, you have to choose this to pitch, and you cannot bring it back because it's not your leader skill. So finding ways to bring cards back to your field is very useful. It helps you keep your field safe, practically. This card is a blocker, so if you just need extra protection, play this card, and then when your opponent swings, you just block with this one. The auto, though, is really nice. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, when this card is removed from a battle area by a skill or KO'd, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and discards it. So that's not a bad option right there. It's hand control. Ribians. Truth be told, I play 3 when I get the third demonic restraints, I'm definitely going to take one River Bands out and put a third one of this in here to the deck instead. Only because every match I came across, I've never used this, yet I still was able to completely get around my opponent's hand. You do not need River Bands. Truth be told, field card, and then I'll kind of explain down the road things I would prefer potentially play. Now, granted, there are situations where River Band definitely comes in handy, and it's not a bad card to have in your deck. Son Goku, Power of Legends. If your opponent discards a card, you play this card. It's unique, has crit, and activate main, send this card to its owner warp, and you can't play another copy of this card, obviously, for turn, but choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, energy costs 4 or less, and it sends it to their warp as well. So it gets rid of problem cards, at least early problem cards. Also, one of the reasons why I cannot play SS3 Broly, or at least play it to the field. So, because I can't play SS3 Broly, and I typically don't really care about River Bands half the time, I chose to go to the Dark Temptations. Wow, Toa. Overwhelm 3. Practically, when you play this card, if your leader card is green or yellow, choose one of your leader cards. Like you have more than one, but it gains 5,000 power for a duration of turn, and your opponent chooses one card in their hand and places it in the drop. So, just a little extra way of like adding pressure to my leader, getting another card in the battle area for free, make my opponent lose a card. So, super combos, Vegeta. My opponent in the tournament, Scrub Games, he was actually, I think, playing a 2-2. I think he was playing 2 Vegetas, 2 Paragus, which is not a bad option to do. Paragus helps you cycle more cards to your hand, but I just like going to the idea of just completely hitting my opponent's hand and getting rid of it as soon as possible. Speaking of Paragus, we play the Sacrifice. Activate main, once per turn, choose up to one green card from your battle area. Other than this card, place into your drop area, then you draw one card. That goes well with the field card. So you just drop that one, you draw a card, and this card plays itself back. You get more 1 Paragus on the board. They could potentially be a draw 1, 2, 3, or 4. Again, I never had 4. The max I've ever had was 2. So, alright, for the Paragus and for the Vegeta, I played 3 of the Bulma's Life Dynamic. It allows you to search top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 green unison card with a specific energy cost of 2, or a green Saiyan with an energy cost of 3 or less, and add it to your hand. So it's a good searcher, and since I said unison, we play 4 of the Bardox. We want to see that card. That card is very, very impressive, let's put it that way. Practically, when your opponent combos, you could choose one of the combo cards and like, bye-bye. Activate main for +1. Choose one of your green battle cards with energy cost of 1 and KO it. If you do, your opponent chooses one card in their hand, discards it. So it's another way of getting rid of cards. Then, -3, activate main. This card gets 5,000 power and triple attack for the turn. So if you manage to get up to 4 markers, why not just do -3 and add extra pressure to your opponent who potentially may not have a hand? And potentially, if you do that, like, hey, -3, first swing. If they have no hand, they take it. Then you turn on a swing of lead. They have to pitch a card from their hand. Hopefully it's not in the gate. If it is, oh well. It's another card got in hand. Then before you swing with your unison, you play another. So you play a super combo for 1 energy. Because, you know, you probably haven't played anything that turn yet. Then you swing. And then you repeat the process. Play another unison if you can. I mean, because you're searching them out. Add them to your hand. Since we play unisons, we also play one of the best green counterplays there is. Frieza. It practically stops anything with an energy cost of, I think it's 7, right? 7, yeah, 7 or less. Unfortunately, if it has barrier, it will not hit that card, but definitely gets past deflect, which is always nice. Yeah, alright, cool. Best green the gate. Does not necessarily stop the first attack, but definitely stops any additional attacks after that. So, discard a card. You could KO a battle card up to 2 energy. Then, which if they have tokens, you can just kill all the tokens first, then hit a battle card, which is pretty cool. But practically, your opponent can only attack 1 more time for turn. Because we want to maybe stop attacks early on, or in case you need to, for some reason, you haven't awakened yet, and you need to self-awaken. 2 Shocking Death Balls. Or if you tap out, you know, you use Dormant Potential for free, and then you turn on, use Shocking Death Ball by taking a life. There you go. But Shocking Death Ball also makes you KO a battle card of energy cost of 2 or less. So it's always nice. The third option, I may take this down to 1, but right now it's sitting at 2 pretty black holes because of Jimmy's. It was a great idea, Jimmy. Thank you. Practically, you counterplay with the Frieza. It's practically a useless card most of the time. So, your opponent swings, pretty black hole. You select Frieza. Now I can KO battle cards up to an energy cost of 5. That's always awesome. Alright, so I have a few key win cons. And these are cards that I could definitely take a Rubian out to increase these amounts. Right now I play 2 of the 6-drop Broly. I don't really rely on bringing these things out in the field. But when I do, your opponent has to, so you choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's hand at random when placing the drop area, and this card's double strike. So if your opponent has 2 life and you play this card to the field, they turn around and have to get those 2 cards and you swing double strike, and if they can't stop 30k, then that's game. 2 of the Gohans, which if your life is 3 or less, this is why I mentioned that earlier, getting your life down to 3, it makes this card a 2 cost instead of a 5 cost. But auto, if your hitter card is green, when this card is played, you choose 1. Either A, choose to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it, which can definitely help with a problem card. And then, or you can choose to one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. Typically, you're going for this to KO a battle card with barrier. Potentially, it could be like, well, my biggest example is going to be U7. You know, that Vegeta's on board, so you play this. It has deflected. It can't condensation. It's raining now, but you KO the Vegeta, then you can swing with your double strike, and now they have to full out pay for the Roshi negate or whatever. So always get a target there. So this Gohan and this Frieza are also great targets for my next card, which is Fuse Zamasu. Practically for 1 energy, if you have 3 or more energy, choose a green battle card in your battle area with 5,000 power or more, and a total energy cost of 5. Place them in the drop area and then play this card from your hand. So typically, turn 4 is when I typically play the Gohan if I were to play it. Swing, there's a double strike, 1 energy, Zamasu. Then you swing again, they have to discard a card before they can even do anything. They can choose to negate, but they also have to get rid of a card as well, so it gets rid of 2 cards from their hands, which is always nice. And last but not least, it's a secret rare. I mean, I don't ever get to turn 5, so there's no reason to play Celzino. Yes, I could potentially build the board for Celzino, but I focus more on just getting rid of my opponent's hands as fast as possible. And truth be told, because of this leader, I chose to take out EDK because I felt like, yes, the leader itself rips a card from hand, and actually once awakened, it's I think the 3-card advantage. Your opponent has to discard a card, choose 1 card on the battlefield to get rid of, and then you draw a card. So they lose 2, you gain 1, because you don't have to discard a card, you don't have to get rid of a card on the battle area as long as you have that field card. So you're good to go. And I felt like that was just more important with the deck space right now, because I'm trying to keep it at 50 cards as well, to go the route I took it. Now, definitely in a sideboard, depending on what your matchup against, you're going to put the Roshis in there, put an EDK in there, put an extra Gohan, extra Broly in there, in case you need to see those. Nick from our locals, you'll see his duel as well, or his game. And he also played, I think, the 2-drop Broly that searches top 7 cards for another Broly, which is also a good option to tech in, because it helps you find the 6-drops to play later on the road. I think he played the 4-drop Broly as well. I think it was a big difference between mine and his deck, was that he played the 2-drop Broly and the 4-drop Broly, where I was playing Zamasus, and I can't remember the other card he wasn't playing. But this is my deck profile. Hope you all enjoy it. Definitely, if you got any suggestions, put it down in the comments. I do like this deck, but I probably will not be playing at the locals anymore, just because I don't like playing hand control at the locals. It sometimes just feels like it just runs itself half the time, and I like a little more excitement out of that. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy what it does, and that's my profile, and that's all I gotta say about it. So, like always, if you enjoy it, like, buttons, clicking, read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.